So one of the themes about Falcons training camp so far has been the idea of competition. And it's a lot of different things. And it's more than just a word. It is a mentality right now. How many times are we seeing Clark Phillips and Drake London go head to head, where they went against each other in college, and now they're lining up in the pros and getting a chance to go after one another, right? We've seen Bijan Robinson and Troy Anderson, where Troy Anderson got him the first time, and then Bijan put a sick move on him and scored on him, right? We're seeing this competition level. And that's one of the benefits of young players. I remember, I distinctly remember something that years and years ago, we had on our radio station, we had an NBA basketball show, okay? And it was from 8 to 10 on a Sunday night, okay? It was late night on a Sunday. And the very first episode, Dominique Wilkins was in the studio. This was Dennis Scott, Sam Mitchell, and Dominique Wilkins. And I was down there just kind of hanging out with the guys, and Sam and I were doing a show together and just listening to Dominique and things like that. And Dominique talked about off air because they had asked him about why aren't guys more excited about the dunk contest, right? Because this was a time when obviously the dunk contest, and again, it's gotten even worse now, but the dunk contest wasn't a thing, and it wasn't something where guys were, enamored to be part of the dunk contest. And Dominique Wilkins, they asked him, they said, well, why do you think that is? Why aren't guys more willing to be in the dunk contest, the top players? And he says, you know why? Because guys don't want to find out who's best. Guys don't want to find out who's best. And that's the thing that I'm watching when I look at these young guys for the Atlanta Falcons, is that they want to find out who's the best. And I give them a lot of credit, and I give Arthur Smith a lot of credit for instilling that mindset into this team. Again, it's not old-timey veterans that are locked and secure in their positions in life where they don't have to worry about things so much, right? This is a lot of young competition, and this is a young roster, right? Whether you're Kyle Pitts or whether you're Drake London or whether you're Clark Phillips, whatever your standing in the community is, this is something that has been created to get some competition and get some fire underneath these guys. And I love it. I mean, I love the aspect of finding out who the best is. And again, we're not learning who the best is per se, because it's practice and it's in shorts and t-shirts and all this, that, and the other. But what I'm talking about is the idea of creating that mentality and that concept of competition. It's more than just a word on this team. It's more than just, hey, we're competing for the left guard spot or whatever like that. It's about guys wanting to find out who's the best. It's about guys having a mentality. And that's one of the benefits of having young guys who maybe aren't jaded, maybe don't know any better. Maybe for lack of a better term, that they haven't made all of their money in the NFL, that there's not the fat cat syndrome or what have you to it. It's a lot of young, hungry guys, and everybody trying to go out and prove themselves. Even the guys like Bijan Robinson and Drake London, Kyle Pitts, trying to prove their standing in the community. And then you have these young guys that are coming in, as first and second year guys who are coming in and taking it right to those guys and saying, wait a second, Drake London may be a high draft pick and I'm a 4th round draft pick, but I'm going to go in there and show him that I can play with him. I love that mentality. I love that idea. And that's one of the things that Arthur Smith has been able to create around this training camp and create in this environment, that everybody is competing for something, right? I mean, Desmond Ridder isn't lock, stock, and barrel secure in the idea of, yeah, we know he's going to be the number 1 quarterback, but if Taylor Heinicke goes out there and balls himself out, and look, Heinicke's said all the right things. I mean, he says, I know my role. I know what I'm supposed to be. I know I'm the backup, this, that, and the other. But you don't think that Taylor Heinicke in some ways has been told that multiple times for different franchises, and he thinks to himself, I can go out there and win this job. I can go out there and beat it. Now, again, the reality is that he's going to say the right things, and he's not here to be the starting quarterback, but that he's going to try to amp up his competition level. you know that he's going to try to find out if he's the better quarterback. And I got no problem with that. I got no problem whatsoever with the idea of competition and guys trying to find out who's the best out there. And that's why all of these one-on-ones that we're seeing, is fun. Do they mean anything at the end of the day as far as, is Bijan faster than Troy Anderson or this, that, and the other? No, I mean, that's not the guys they're going to play against. And certainly it's not a game time situation or what have you. But I do like the idea of that we're getting a lot of this one-on-one kind of battling. And there's been some trash talking, right? I mean, Clark Phillips and Drake London have gone back and forth with one another, right? I mean, back to their college days and this, that, and the other. So it is good to see that. And it is fun to see all of that. And I think that that's healthy. I think that's one of the things that really is healthy, that everybody's fighting to be the best on this team, that everybody's fighting for their spot. No matter what your standing in the community is, everybody's competing against one another. And I like it. Frankly, I like the idea of seeing that guys are competing against one another and trying to find out who's the best. Because, again, at the end of the day, we want this football team to win as many games as humanly possible. We want them to be as successful as possible as an organization. And part of that is just getting that mindset right and figuring out a way to win games, figuring out a way to compete against one another. Because when you get out there, that guy's not looking at you to be your friend or whatever like that. They're looking at you that you're taking money off their table. You're taking food off their plates. And I like the fact that this competition has been healthy. And this is one of the big things that Arthur is preaching. It's not just a word, it's a mentality about this football team. All right, as you listen in to Hittin' Hard, make sure you let us know on whatever podcast platform that you listen to that you're an everyday listener to the program. So I like to call them our everyday or so. We thank you so much for being a part of our growing community and letting us know. So leave us a comment. Let us know that you're an everydayer. And we do thank you so much for being a part of the community.